Bom dia Mundu from the Silver Coast. We've been living here for 6 months now, haven't we?
We have, and it's been a great 6 months.
Yeah. We used to live in central Portugal, and we wanted to talk about the things that we've noticed today. 5 things we think you need to know before you decide to move to the Silver Coast.
So the first thing is the temperature. Down here on the Silver Coast, it can be up to 10 degrees cooler than the central Portugal regions.
You'll notice both Story and Sacha are wearing jackets today. Even though the sun is shining, it's not actually cold, is it?
No, it's 21 degrees and it is October now. And we've still got this lovely, lovely blue sky and sunny. I'm still wearing my sunglasses, but it's just we're on the beach and there's a bit of a wind chill, hence the jackets.
It's definitely a wild coastline. People come here to do their water sports, and we love coming on long walks on the beach.
Hi, Starfish.
What's he doing?
Hello.
It's amazing what you can find. I think Mummy's just found another starfish, haven't you?
2 of the morning.
2 starfish this morning. This temperature difference can definitely be a blessing and a curse. We found sometimes that when it's really hot in the central regions, it's a bit of an escape. But also, if you want to go and do some watery stuff, if you want to get your feet wet, if you want to do a bit of swimming, it can feel a bit too chilly. But if you just love walking in the sunshine, exploring the coast and having a look at the wildlife and just generally taking it easy, I don't think that the 21 to 25 degrees is such a bad temperature to deal with. Speaking of wild, what's going on here, Story? You've been a bit of a wild child, aren't you?
Go, run, run, run.
Are you hot or cold?
Cold.
You're cold? Well, these surfers certainly don't think it's cold.
Another pointer worth mentioning, there is obviously a lot of wind down here, a lot more so than in central Portugal and the northern regions, which is great for windsurfing. We have often come to the beach and had to just go home again because it has been too windy. Another weather thing that we didn't know about before we moved here is the fog, especially during the summer months when the cold ocean air touches the warm land. It creates this super blanket of fog and visibility can be down to just, you know, in front of your hand. You can barely see anything, and that has happened a few times just in our short time down here. We took a shot out of our window when we woke up this morning, what it looked like inland. It's worth noting that the beaches, a lot of the beaches here on the Silver Coast, they are unmanned for pretty much most of the year, apart from the summer months. July, August and September, they will have lifeguards down on the beaches. For the rest of the time, they are empty and it is up to you to look after your own safety. The end of the bathing season is the 30th of September, which is now past, so all the lifeguards have gone from the beaches now. Hi. Oh, you've got one brown eye and one blue eye. Wow. And because it is now the end of the summer bathing season, the dogs are allowed back on the beaches. Pretty much 85 to 90% of the beaches that we went to all had no dog signs, no dogs allowed. Out of the bathing season months though, and out of the summer, it is fine and dogs are everywhere, people walking their dogs along the beaches.
I think one of the last things you really need to know about moving to the Silver Coast is that the beaches aren't really for swimming. They're not for floating about in calm waters. These are wild, wild waves. This is the kind of place where your windsurfers, your surfers are coming to. The water is cold, the waves are rough, it's rocky, it's sharp. So when you add all of that together, you have to be a bit more of a hardy-natured person to really enjoy swimming on the coast here. I think today is a good exception because I've seen lots of people just walking their dogs. The tide is so far out that the sea is just making a lovely noise, but it's not affecting where we're walking. And that is another little thing we have noticed. If you come out in the mornings, things are a lot milder, the wind is calmer, and often the tide is out.
Look what's happening.
Jacket's coming off. Story's jacket's already off.
Yeah, it's gotten really warm as we're walking towards the sun here on the beach, and we haven't actually walked this far along on this beach before, have we?
No, never. So we actually don't know where we're going right now. So in the spirit of sharing some valuable information, I definitely think it's better to come to the Silver Coast in the autumn. September, October have been amazing.
Yes.
The wind has been a lot less,
Yeah.
the sun has been out much more consistently, and the temperatures are still really nice.
Yeah, and also when we first moved here in March, it was a lot nicer then than it was in August.
Yeah, so we're just going to enjoy the beach now. Story's really having fun here. Just walking around in circles in the waterfalls. How's your art lesson on the beach, Story? You're drawing a starfish? Not a bad place to do a bit of world schooling, is it? Look at these really cool rocks. Story's practicing her climbing. Are you queen of the island? Well done, you did it! Very brave.
What she did is went, okay, I can do this.
Yeah. You did it! Wow! I just set my bum down on this rock and my bum's now soaking wet, so the sea must come all the way up to the cliffs, isn't it? Well, it hits this wall here. Oh man, that'd be pretty scary, wouldn't it? Slippery. Story just said, that was a fun beach. It was a fun beach. We were on Baleal. Did you enjoy the beach, Story? Should we go to a cafe now?
Okay.
Okay, sounds good to me. We found out recently this cafe, Kirana, in Baleal is going to be closing down for the winter. So we knew we had to come back in one more time. It's like one of the only cafes that's got proper vegan and vegetarian options for us. And the coffee's really good. Mexican wraps today. Story's got herself a cookie and an almond milk at her choice. Total bill came to €19.90, not bad. I think I'm going to drive home barefoot because I've had these shoes on in the water. Back home from the beach, doing a bit of yard work. It sounds like the wind is picking up again. You can hear it in the trees, can't you?
Sounds like the waves.
Yeah, it does actually. We've said that a few times.
Yeah.
Mommy!
You're doing some excellent raking there, Story. Thank you so much. Use your hands. Look at that tool use. Alright, do it your way. It's probably better than our way. Hey Eden, guess what? Good news. The beach has allowed dogs again. You can come with us now. Great. While we're on the subject of things you need to know before moving to the Silver Coast, for properties, it's definitely not as cheap as central Portugal, probably about 25 to 35% higher than you'd pay up there for rentals and to buy a property. This place we're staying in now is cheap because we also help with the land, but most people that we know that have moved here are spending way more than 600 to 700 euros per month to find somewhere of decent standard. We definitely know that to find a property this large with all of this space for us to play, with a swimming pool on the land, you definitely wouldn't get that for what we're paying right now, which is 400 euros a month. Are you showing everyone how big the land is? Go on, let's go get your ball. It rolled all the way down the hill, didn't it? And it goes even further too, all the way down to the end there. And there's a question that we get asked quite a lot, which is, do we speak Portuguese? And we do speak a bit, not enough for a conversation, but enough to get by in shops. So for those of you that have asked, do you need to speak Portuguese to move to the Silver Coast? No, you don't need to, but it is definitely a better experience. It helps you to integrate more with people. But definitely one thing you need to know before you come here is that more people speak English in the Silver Coast area than they do in central Portugal, but perhaps not as much as they do in the Algarve. How have you found it, Sash, not speaking conversational Portuguese in the Silver Coast area?
I feel a little bit self-conscious sometimes if someone stops you on the street or someone's asking for directions or something like that, but I know enough to be able to go to our local little shop by myself and order bread from behind the counter or at the market and things like that. I feel fine. I do find there's more English available here. If it's people speaking or menus in restaurants and things, they generally have an English menu if you need that. We don't, but if you're here on holiday, for instance, on a quick visit, then you would need an English menu, and they're more available down here, I feel.
It definitely makes life easier to learn some words before you get here. We're currently doing some extra cleaning because we have some visitors coming soon, and that leads us to our next point. We feel like the Silver Coast is definitely more visitor friendly.
Of course, it's more of a holiday destination, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Now that's not to say that people didn't want to come and see us in central Portugal either, but with so many beautiful beaches around and a name like the Silver Coast, it does actually enhance the appeal. Inland here, about 15 minutes away from the beach, it feels exactly like what life was like in central Portugal, and yet we're still so close to all of these touristy areas. Did America say there was a new chicken?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. He did. He put a new chicken in here yesterday.
It looks like some baby chicks might hatch soon.
I can hear little cheep cheeps.
Yeah? You think they've hatched?
I think she's hiding chicks.
Oh, is that why she looks more defensive today?
Oh, there's baby chicks. I see them. I see their face. Oh, there's babies. It's okay. You can see a little beak. There. Look, see it?
Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
Well, there's still some eggs underneath her that haven't hatched yet.
Oh, well, there you go. A little bit of a central Portugal experience right on our doorstep.
Baby chicks.
Oh, I'd love to see them hatching. Fruit trees. Fruit trees are definitely part of the living in Portugal experience, aren't they? We've got loads here.
These are persimmons,
Yeah?
I think.
Story's about to pick one.
I think that one looks quite ready. It feels quite juicy.
Now we've already had a load of plums, loads of different flavours. There's one tree over there and then there was 3 up by the house. You picked it? Is that the persimmon? This is one thing we've really loved about living here. Every single time we take the wheelbarrow down to the chicken area to either throw away some rubbish or take care of the little guys, we discover something new, something's grown in the ground or on one of the trees, and we come back. Sometimes we don't know what they are because they're not fruits that grow in the UK. And we come back with our wheelbarrow full of stuff, and we do a bit of research, use it for making jam, use it for just eating. It's a brilliant experience. So that ended up being a little bit more than 5 things to know about the Silver Coast in the end.
This video was made partly in collaboration with A-Leader Shoes, the water shoes that we were all wearing on the beach. They have actually given us a 15% discount code to give to everybody, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. To get the 15% discount, just use the code Sacha15.
Looks like it's rounding up to be a beautiful sunset tonight, blinding one.
It is lovely.
We're going to enjoy that. Don't forget to watch to the end of the video to see a preview of the weekend vlog, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
What on earth is going
Are
on?
you being a puppy? Aww. Hello, puppy.
Where are you off to? You can do a workout while you're there.
Ah, I got a wiggly tail.
You've got a
Fish
wiggly
tail.
tail. I see.
I got a fish tail down on water.
Yeah?
Mermaid.
So now we're on the south beach of Nazaré. We've just come to this little beach bar here. So the sun has just come out. We've made ourselves chip butties, old school. Which is your favourite boat then?
That's more, yeah.
What about that green one over there?
No, not that one. That's too big for me. This one. This is the baby one.
Okay.
Whee!
God, that's really hard to get one of these in the house.
Yeah.
You'd be so fit.